But there's a lot of teens that bought into it. You might find that you might be one of those right now, like, oh crap. But that's who's behind all of this stuff. See, they realized when they were doing this, all the cigarette people, the smokers, started switching over to e-cigarettes, but you guys weren't doing it. The problem there is that, as one executive once said, the only source of replacement smokers are young adults. They need you. Otherwise, their profits go down. That's why they target you. All of a sudden, Juul comes out, they have their marketing campaign, millions of teens start using the product. That's when the government's like, hey, Juul, we see what you did. You're marketing to teens. And Juul's like, us? No. Millions and millions of teens are giving us millions and millions of dollars, getting hooked on our product. We never wanted that to happen. We've always been about helping people quit smoking. That's why we advertised on the Nickelodeon website. True story. That's why we advertised on the Cartoon Network website. Also true story. There's also a reason why Juul got sued and they just had to do some serious payouts because targeting you guys. We've always been about helping people quit smoking. Really? Where's your advertising? Where do you see quit smoking? You don't. What does this look like? This is the beginning of advertising for Juul. It's young adults socializing, having fun. They're glamorizing it, making it look social and fun. That's what they sell. This is the same marketing techniques that tobacco companies used for decades. So I just want you to understand who's actually behind the industry. The government did step in and they put a flavor ban on any type of device that had a refillable pod. And that's when Juul, that's when teens weren't buying them anymore. But then you have a whole bunch of teens that are already hooked on nicotine. They like flavors. So you have these companies that are like, all right, well, how do we get to them? We can't do the refillable pods, but they didn't say anything about the disposable vapes. You know, the ones that you just use, they don't have any pods, just disposable ones. And that's the rise of things like Elf Bar and Puff Bar. And how sketchy these companies are. I know, Skittles. Like I said, who are they going after? The 50-year-old smoker? No, you. Make it look fun, bright colors. And how sketchy these companies are, like Puff Bar, for example. It was the most popular brand amongst teens a couple years ago now. They went to the world headquarters listed on the website of Puff Bar. It was a rundown house outside LA. Because it's a front. See, all of these things, all of these, Puff Bar, Elf Bar, they're manufactured over in China. They come over here and they get distributed out. And there's very little regulation as to like what's actually in there. They came over so much that the government stopped. They're like, hey, we got to stop this. Anything that's coming in from this company, we're going to ban it. And the company just changed its name. He was like, yeah, just change its name so it goes right around that law because they want to get to you. They said, well, your product has nicotine in it, so it's a tobacco product. So you have all these laws to prevent it from getting to teens. And they said, us? No, we actually use synthetic nicotine, man-made nicotine, not from a tobacco leaf, so it's not a tobacco product. So they get to even market it and say, our product is tobacco-free, making it sound safe. Still using synthetic nicotine, still has all the chemicals, but again, it's the way it sounds. Some even say nicotine-free. Ours are nicotine-free. The FDA tested a lot of nicotine ones, and they found some of them still contain nicotine. How can they do that? Because they can. There's very little regulation on what's actually in there. They get them over here, they get distributed out. And it's a scary part, because all they're looking to do is get it in your hands and profit off you and hook you when you're young. Now, I'm not here telling you what to do, what not to do. You're going to do your life. You do you, right? You're going to build your life. You're going to make your life. All I'm saying is, as you're making these decisions in your life, you need to be able to make smart ones. And to do that, you need to get all the information. In fact, you need to think about these three things in order to make smart decisions.